This guy's still declining, so I decided to bring him in here, put him in the shade. I sprayed him with some more of that stuff to get rid of the powdery mildew, but I don't think it's working. I might have to pick up something else. And I've got a lot more plants in here. Some of these I started from seed to put in the garden, but the garden's not ready yet. They're just starting to get it tilled because now it's finally defrosted. Everything I already trimmed. Some of the stuff is out here that just needed to be bug checked and watered good and brought outside but didn't need to be trimmed is out here. My little seedlings, maple seedlings, are all out here. The hibiscus from the other episode. Some of my cuttings that made it and didn't make it. This one seems to be budding out nice. I think it's got roots. So I'll have 3 of them little guys. Bougainvillea cuttings. And I just brought out my 2 bougainvilleas. My one that I kept from the herding ones there. They're just little tiny twigs, and it even fell over from the weight of its canopy, so I'll have to trim that back again. And my original one that is totally exceeding my expectations. I just love this tree. I absolutely love it. Except it's really, really long from being in the house, but it's growing real nice. I just love this trunk and the roots and the, well, everything about it. Now, these are another one. They're super light because, and this one's in a bag, it is near impossible to keep them damp inside the house. They dry so fast. I water them every day when I get home from work, and it's not always enough. So they just dry right out completely. Sorry, I just lit my pick there and the mosquitoes are still in here. I gotta wait for it to sort of chase them out. So I'm all wobbly because I'm slapping myself. So yeah, I think I'll just do a quick video. Get these guys all trimmed. These 2 bougainvilleas all trimmed. My cuttings are out here just to grow. I'm not going to do anything with them. And every day I bring out a few more plants. Not all of them will get videos because not all of them need to be trimmed, but we'll get there. Yeah, another thing. We had frost 2 nights in a row. It's been cold at night, so the full moon in June thing doesn't always work, but I knew that already. In here, I didn't close the door. But it doesn't seem like the frost comes in this far. Usually there's like a little line at the doorway here. And even the moisture in the air, like it'll be humid out here, but it'll be dry inside here, so I actually have to mist everything in here. It's quite interesting. Everything else seems to be doing okay. I really have to get those trees in the ground. I just have not had time. And this one hasn't leafed out, and it's even the green in the trunk is going away, so I don't think my burning bush survived the winter. It was alive when I brought it out here. Everything was still green, the buds were swelling, and then it just stopped. So maybe I'll try again. I really love the burning bushes, and this was such a great deal for such a large tree for my area. We'll see if I can find another one. Maybe we'll wait. So this blue spruce here, or was labeled as a blue spruce, I don't know what it is one that I'm going to keep for bonsai. I got to get potted. This one I got to get potted, and I think the rest are going to go in the ground, but I'm almost darn near too late to do it. But the construction didn't finish. I want to put them all here, but I'm afraid that the construction workers are gonna run over them again, so I'm gonna have to mark them out. I gotta get it done. My little alders are burning. I'm not quite sure why. They were doing so good until The other day I came home from work and they were burnt. So I gotta figure out what's going on there. There's spiders everywhere. There's spider webs from one plant to the other one. The spiders are having a heyday. And then these guys, only one leafed out. These ones are still bendable, malleable. They don't snap or break or anything. Maybe they're just late, I'm not sure. But I gotta get them in the planting as well. The forest is doing very well. Everything seems to have come through okay. There's still buds I gotta bring back and stuff like that. But I just wanted them to survive this year, and then we can start doing some real work to them next season. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Hello, everybody. All right, let's do some trims. So these guys, I just love this Bougainvillea, and the reason I got more Bougainvilleas is because I love this Bougainvillea. But it's not turning out like the first one. This one's got some weird things going on with it. I'm gonna have to make a tough decision. This one here, it splits right here and it's starting to get reverse taper. So I think I might just keep this one trunk and cut this one off. Maybe see if it'll grow as a cutting. And hopefully it'll bud back. I gotta stand it back up again in here. I might have to add some rocks to it. And I guess since it's outside, I can remove its plastic bag, which I was using to try and keep it wet inside the house, and the mosquitoes are still in here. It's about 8 p.m. or a little bit later. The kids are up late today because there's no school tomorrow. One of those PA days they call them now. It used to be PD days when I was a child. This one, maybe transfer the rocks from this one to this one, since this one stands up pretty good on its own. The only thing with using rocks to stand up your trees is sometimes the wind will push them and actually get them rubbing on the rock. The other thing that can happen is the rock can pinch them and cause some odd growth. These guys definitely need to be watered again and again. Now this one's root system is starting to pop out of the soil. I'm just going to flick some of the soil back over it. Hopefully you can see all that okay. And I guess I'll do the little one first. I'll just put this one way down here and bring this one front and center. Got a little heavier with rocks in it. And then. So I know it's very odd. Do I have a turntable out here? I don't think I do. Oh. Ah. Anyway. Got it. Ha! So it kind of grew sort of toward the window and then fell over. So these two trunks here This one here flows much better than this one here, even though this one continues straight. I think I'd rather keep this one. And by the looks of it, I'm not going to keep much of my blood today either. I'll need some more tea. So what I'm going to do is just snip this one first off here. I'm going to leave a stub for now. And I will keep this and add it to my cutting collection, because even though there's lots of them in the nurseries this year, there's actually a lot. They are difficult to get, so I know lots of people wanting them. Just gonna reach over and do that right now. First, I'm gonna bring it back to a brain. There we go. I'm just gonna quickly reach across, put it in the soil, nice and deep, just like that. So that's one issue resolved. And springtime is a good time to resolve issues, because then it'll have a whole summer of growth. So now the other two branches are growing from one spot, and I left this one there because it had flower fronds on it and I wanted it to flower. And it did. It had 3 flowers. But I prefer the sweeping one. So I want something unique. So I kind of like these weeping branches. I'm going to try and create more. So I'm going to take this long straight one right off. I'll leave a little stub there. Crazy. And this too. Just going to quickly strip it here. And I'll probably use this as 2 cuttings. Bringing it back to a brain, which is where a leaf is coming from, just like Tom says. And I'm just going to, actually I'm going to come around the back of the camera and just plop these in the soil here. If you want to see where I'm putting them, it's right in here. One didn't make it for some reason. There's a few that didn't make it, a few that did. And I'm just going to plop them in here. If they take, they take. If they don't, they don't. A few did take. These ones are good to go. There's a green one here that has no leaves, but still looks fine. Alright, back to what we were doing. So, this is where I pruned it last time. Actually didn't grow at all. So I'm just going to take off some of these older leaves here. Those ones I think will be fine. There's no bugs at all on here. And I want this one to be tall, just not the same thickness from the ground to the top. But I've got nothing to cut back to yet, so we have to be patient with this one. So that's one. I'm going to put this one down here. And bring my first Bougainvillea back up. The front has changed twice on this tree already, and it might even change again, because every single time I trim it, it's got like a cool new feature to it. I just love this tree. And I do want it to be a bit taller. I want a huge canopy on it, so that when it flowers, it flowers. I've got a branch up here that's kind of turned back, but that's because it went back to the window, so I'm going to have to trim that back. I already trimmed it back once. But let's start from the bottom. So I've got a small new shoot here with 2 leaves on it. I'm going to leave that alone. And I've got this next shoot and just about cut myself on my snippers. So this next shoot here, it splits nicely up here. It's got a whole bunch of buds growing up here. That's pretty cool. So it splits nicely up here and then splits nicely again here. It's got a stub I can take off. There we go. And it doesn't really have a growth tip there, but I'm going to take it back to what bud should I take it back to? Maybe here. These little ones here I don't keep as clippings. I've never had success with them. But those big long ones kind of worked, so we'll keep those. But not too many. Not too many. Pruning stub. Let's see. Try and make sure you guys can see everything. So there's a pruning stub here from last time. You can see I cut it here last time too. So we'll take this old leaf off and this leaf off. And you can see this is the back, so it's growing toward the window here. I tried to turn it around best I could, but I wasn't always able to. So I'm going to cut this one back. I really want an outside bud, but the one growing this way is way over here. So I think I'll go right back to these two first leaves, right back there, and leave a stub. And of course, put this in with the cuttings. Bring it back to a brain, get rid of the mosquito. Just over here more. I can reach it from right here. There we go. All of that will need to be watered again. So that's this branch done. I don't know if I should do anything. Well, I probably should. Oh, there's a little branch coming here. Oh, right. Perfect. We'll bring it. There's a pruning stub here. Take that off. Bring it back to here. Not keep that one. Alright, that's that done. Now this one turned back on itself, and I pruned it off up here, and it did not do what I anticipated. There's two new branches forming below the original cut from before that still aren't going in a direction. There's also a bud here, so I'm going to bring it back below the cut point from last time. So below that cut point. And of course, I'm going to keep this. I know I said in the other video I wouldn't keep any more cuttings from anything, but the Bougainvilleas are not usually common around here, except for this year. Except for this year. I must say, they have become common this year. Oops. Forgot to bring it back to a grain. Tom would have kicked my butt for that. Ow. Found a thorn. Okay. And over to this side. Let's take some of these leaves off. That's going to be a new branch here. Do I want a new branch there? There's a little branch here that I left from before. It looks like it's dead, so I'm going to just chippity chop that off, and it's definitely dead. So there's a new branch here, and I'm going to leave it and see what it does. Be nice to thicken this up. This one here, I'll bring back all the way to here. And this one here, now keep in mind this growth is from the last time I trimmed it, which wasn't actually all that long ago. And this one here I'm going to bring back to way back here. I think that'll do. Nope, wait, okay. That'll do. Now it's got a long way to go. I'm still trying to set up just the basic branch structure. And learning what these guys do. Because this is my first Bougainvillea. And I really absolutely love it. But I'm not loving these mosquitoes. They're driving me insane. Does anyone want some mosquitoes? Free mosquitoes to a good home must pick up. You can come and get them. I'll give you some cuttings. Please? Please come get some mosquitoes. Can't believe no one wants mosquitoes. That's crazy. Now this one's really long, but I'm leaving it long anyway. Gives more opportunity for roots. There we go. Whew. That pick is strong. All right, that's where we're. That's what we're left with. So this one's getting thick quick, and I gotta thicken these up to match that. So what I'll be doing is keeping this trimmed more and letting these grow, like this one here that I didn't trim at all. Hopefully they thicken up. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to do all this stuff. You guys can learn with me. Or teach me in the comments. Oh, I just love this. Absolutely love it. The scars, the pruning scars on here, like you can't even tell they're there anymore. This one here is from when I first got the tree. This one will take a little bit to heal because it was just from last year. But I bet you at the end of this summer it'll be all healed up. And there's buds all over it. It's really gonna come to life out here. It just loves being outside. Okay. That's it. That's a wrap. I gotta try and get to bed, but I still got some chores to do. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe out there.